Hey, you people, eh?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I have to first ask.
Yes.
Did they get the ribbons and stuff down off Yonge Street? Or is it still a little embarrassing this morning?
Yeah. You know what? I don't. This is the one time where, as blowhard as a lot of Leafs nations can be, once they lost that last game, the previous game, that put the 3-2, there was no talk of parade. The parade talk all of a sudden got very, very quiet, and there'd be a lot of Leaf fans going into last night, like I'm watching that game and saying, "We'll see what happens in that first." If people said 10 minutes, no. Let's see the first 5 minutes. Let's see how bad they want it. And when I saw that first 5 minutes go by, I went, This is not going to be good. This is not going to be good."
Well, I tell you, pretty shocking after the last time we got together and made a couple predictions, but, made a couple of jokes too. And funny, in going into Game 5, the number of paper bags that people put on my front door and called, and I've heard from all these people and so-called friends from Toronto, and all of a sudden my phone went quiet. What happened?
Paper bags, the old paper bag routine. Well, look, the God's honest truth in that series. And I said, and when it went to 3-1, I thought this thing's over. I mean, it looked like it was over. I have no idea how they hit a switch, but they did. And it's really hard. It's so hard to do when you look like you're just waiting for a golf course. And then you turn into a team that clearly doesn't have the same kind of talent as the other team, but their desire to win, that competitive nature, dwarfed the other side, and it completely went the other way. I don't know if I've seen a series that has looked like this beforehand. No. So as much as people say that the Habs didn't belong to be there and so on, yeah, in the beginning, I completely agree with that. I think a lot of Habs fans would have said, yeah, this is a mismatch. But as the series went on, who was the better team? I don't think it was close. It wasn't a fluke. And for someone to say, "Oh, geez, I can't believe Toronto lost." Well, did you watch the games? Because the better team was the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, and you know what? When you say that, Mike, I think you hit it bang on. The difference I saw was Montreal adjusted. They were terrible. I mean, games 2 and 3, 4. I mean, it was. Everybody was giving up. You listen to Habs fans, and it was scary. But they adjusted, and they made adjustments. Whereas Toronto thought, okay, well, we lost Game 5. You know what? We'll go back and we'll play our skill game. We'll try to hold the puck. We'll try to keep the puck possession, right? But that Montreal just forced them, and they changed that. And you look at the neutral zone, that's where some of the, the giveaways were, big goals. And yeah, I mean, hey, Montreal isn't as skilled a team. We know that. But I guess their players came to play when they needed to, and they did the right little things. And that, say what you want, but the 4 big defense back there, and the minutes they logged, they did a tremendous job. And they truly did. And I think we mentioned it in the first call when I mentioned about Danault and, a contract here. I mean, you looked at how Matthews talked to him in the lineup on the way out, and I'm sure it was some pretty solid words towards him, because that line was phenomenal. And even with an adjustment, moving Tatar off that line, they still got it done with some young legs.
Yeah, exactly. Geoff, I think the one thing I will take out of the series is a joke that a Habs friend of mine, another Habs friend of mine, told me is, why do you spend $10.5 million on a goaltender? Well, of course, to stop $48 million worth of offense, because I think Carey Price was the first star in 7 games, and obviously there's a lot of great factors with the Montreal Canadiens, but I think it starts with Carey Price and how well he played in this series.
Without a doubt. I mean, you look at where Price was from the start of that series. The guy was phenomenal. And if you're a hockey fan, especially the goaltenders out there, they're watching that, they're marveled. I mean, he was dialed in. The calmness, the way I said it to my son. I said, just look at him. Like, he's unfazed. I wish I could handle going through Tim Hortons drive-through like that.
Well, his poise, like it literally was a clinic. Like, if you just wanted to record it and show it to the young kids who want to play the position, it is. In fact, It's literally the opposite of the way that we grew up. It's the opposite of the way that we were. Like, we're moving around, we're making skate saves. You're flipping, you're flopping, you're stacking your pads, you're making all these movements. This is the opposite of that. And talk about being in the zone. The only other time, and I said this goes back to being the old Leaf fan, but when the Leafs had to play those Philadelphia Flyers teams with Bernie Perron, it was a nightmare because all I could see was that Jacques Plante mask and pucks not going in. And I'm like, it doesn't matter where the shot comes from. It's not going in. And you don't think, even at this level, that doesn't start to play into the players' heads? You can just see it, that they feel like they're probably, and look, the only chance you had, and I thought it was very interesting, they did break it down a little bit last night, but the ability of defense to understand to collapse down low and literally protect your goalie like an offensive line would protect a quarterback, because you couldn't get to Carey Price, and he could see, if Carey can see the puck doesn't go in. But on the other side, you had Canadians guys buzzing all around Jack Campbell, like they could get inside. To me, that's the game. That is a whole game. If you cannot get some sort of borderline interference, almost, I mean, you've got to work hard. But clearly, the Canadians defenseman said, no, you're not getting close, you're not getting in, and Carey's going to see every puck, and that's exactly what happened.
And that's exactly what we were just talking about, the change in the game. Montreal started the series trying to go off the rush. Instead, look where their goals were scored, in the slot, some garbage. And that was a difference maker for them. And like you said, they could get in there. But I tell you, I don't know how I'm showing up at the office this morning, though. It has been a tense time at the Restoration Network between Conrad and I. To a point where I think we had shares up for sale. We weren't talking. But you know what, you say that, and I know I laugh, but the last 3 days, or last 3 games, sorry. You know what we've noticed, and everybody kind of laughed, is we kind of forgot the entertainment side of hockey, and the Leafs versus Canada. We go. Everybody is focused in on this. I mean, the Leafs are hoping that they can clinch it and move on and finally get past round 1, where the Habs all of a sudden have some life. And the rest of the world, we kind of forgot about the pandemic. Yeah. We kind of forgot about what's happening. Things are opening up. It was a good time. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. But I just hope I can get into my office this morning.
Okay, let's forecast tomorrow night. Because guess what? You're waiting for a team. The team's been waiting for you for some time. What do you think about this matchup with the Jets tomorrow night?
You know what? I mean, I think we can coin toss the goaltending. I think now we're going to have I want to give all the credit to Jack Campbell in the last. He was a great, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yep. But I think we're looking at 2 goaltenders, Vezina Trophy winners. They both want to prove that. I don't know if it's proving that they're number 1, but they want to get to that next spot as well. So you could toss a coin there because it's going to be tight. I love Winnipeg's 3 lines. Everybody talks about their 6, but they've got nine forwards up front there on the first 3 that are probably rated a 9 out of 10. They're going to be solid, but Montreal's starting to find the net. They do have a balanced, lineup. The difference there too is the stingy defense. If Montreal can play this defense against Winnipeg, we are going to have a great series. I think it's going to be a lot more physical than what we just saw.
Much more. Yeah.
And I mean, I hate to do it to you, Dave, but we're moving on again. And
that's very shocking too. Oh my goodness.
I've thought about it long and hard over the last 12 hours, and
like I was expecting a different answer.
Yeah.
and I would love for everyone to get back to me like they did in the past with the Leafs, because it was wonderful. But this one's going to go the length into it. It's going to be a 6-7 game series, but we're probably going to be talking about Price again, and I think we're gonna see guys. I think we woke up the guys like Gallagher.
Yeah. Well, I think what do you think, Dave, in terms of scores? Because I think this is just by virtue of the goaltending and the level of defense, it's got to be a low scoring series, is it not?
I think you could blindly bet unders in this series and be comfortable with it if you're going up to your marketing, your wagering window kind of thing. I agree. I think the defense is on the Canadian side of things. I think the offense is on the Jet side of things. Goaltending is probably a push on both ends just because of what Carey Price did. I wouldn't have said that about Price if I didn't watch the 7-game series, because Connor Hellebuyck's been the much better goaltender in the last 2 years. But what Price did in 7 games says, I'm okay with Canada's best goaltender against the United States' best goaltender if they ever went head to head in international play.
Mm-hmm.
But this is league play, and I of course have the Jets winning this series. I have them pegged for 5 or 6 games. I think I'm not gonna go Leaf on you and start telling you about this and that and so forth. But I think this rest has really helped the Jets. I just hope they're not too flat tomorrow night, because you don't play for 9 days, there might be a little bit of rust on the tires. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was thinking that too. You look at sitting that long. I mean, yes, you have some guys that are going to get healthy as well, which helps. But you come off a big emotional win like this from Montreal. Let's hope that carries on. And
good, exactly.
But yeah, that's unfortunate you think that way, Dave. But I respect it. I do respect that, and I'm okay if you want to call that, because I think if it comes down to give the Jets the first 3, and then we'll just play every game after that.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. It's like golfing with a guy. I'll give you a couple strokes on this hole. How about that one? And look, and for the Canadians, they want to play tomorrow. Like they're ready to go. I mean, if I'm the Canadians, I'm like, let's get this thing going. So they're once again, in the degenerate gambling world, there might be value on the Montreal Canadiens game number 1. There could be some value in that, I would think. I think the wheels do need to get going a little bit for Winnipeg, but tight series. So maybe the best goaltending matchup in the league right now. When you take a look
at
it,
there isn't anything better.
No. And you know what? I mean, look at the Jets. Hey, when you're sitting there, these guys are professional athletes. They're training. They're on the ice every day. They're going to be ready to go. This is Stanley Cup playoffs, right? So that you can't.
I thought you played in the NHL. I thought I talked to a waitress in Las Vegas who said that she had met you, and apparently you played in the league. I didn't realize that.
That was Stewart.
Yeah, that was a different guy. Hey, Geoff Stewart / Stewball from the Bridge, known by many names. Also the president CEO of the Restoration Network, with a sad business partner as it stands right now. Love to see you, brother. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning. Always great to see your face. I know you're extremely busy out there with the company, but glad you took the time this morning. And I am sure that we will be talking to you at some point over the next week or so. I just have a feeling you're going to join us again.
It's funny. Thanks, guys. I said to my wife this morning, I said, well, I'm on my regular spot, on the show.
Yeah, I have my hit this morning.
I just kind of got the shake of the head, and I've been pretty much living in the basement the last week. But guys, always tremendous to be here, and enjoy the big smoke right now. I'm sure it's pleasurable to be there, and thanks again. Look forward to hearing from you again.
That is Geoff Stewart from the Restoration Network in Alberta, but a huge Habs fan and one of the best guys ever